Are you on? Is it recording?
Should be.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the Keystone Facilities Committee, February 24th at 1 o'clock. Myself, Elizabeth, Sam, and his secretary are here,
Brandy.
and Colton, not Colin. We'll go to B1, Liberty Curtain update. Go ahead, Sam.
The or the list pretty much remains the same. Although the sound equipment did come in and the electricians started working on it. I have not heard whether it's fully operational yet or not, but they did work 3 days in the last couple of weeks. They were there installing equipment. The rest of the items remain open. And I did send a request to all contractors since our last meeting for punch list updates. And I received one from Lobar, and that is it from all of our contractors. We did receive a request for payment from Hostler, and I agreed to make the payment as long as we receive a punch list. So that payment has been on hold now for about a month and a half, because they have not produced a punch list to us yet, an updated punch list.
Are they part of the group that were having problems getting repairs done already?
So Hostler is our HVAC contractor,
Okay,
and we have a lot of outstanding HVAC warranty claims and punch list items. So I worked with Crabtree and I said, look, I'll agree to make the payment because most of the equipment that we required them to install during the initial contract has been installed.
but it's not working.
There are warranty claims and punch list items to go. So per the contract, it's there and it did work at one point or another. And therefore it becomes a warranty issue
With the company.
with the company. Yes.
So you're dealing directly with the company.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
So do you want us to recommend to the board to hold off payment until?
I've already
Warranties?
done so, really. I just said that I would approve it as long as they provided that list, and it will remain that way until Crabtree and the school district get a punch list.
What about all the other problems that are going on up there? Payments have been made.
Right. So most of the items, like I said, are warranty claims at this point.
Did the roof leak get fixed?
I haven't heard of any additional roof leaks with the last couple warm days. You know, it was.
Well, we've not
This would
had
be
a
the
good
time of year. What's that?
We've not had a good rainstorm.
No, I mean, we did get quite a bit of rain in the last week. It rained on and off most of the week, but I did not get any complaints of roof leaks. So
Okay,
we'll find out more here in the spring when we get our first good downpour.
right.
Chair Chris?
Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Thank you. Okay, and Sam, I do understand you inherited all this. So you weren't here when the other board approved the contracts. So be that as it may, moving forward, I appreciate everything that you're saying, keeping us updated. When the greater community asks, or when the board members ask, what do you recommend we say? Because, I mean, at some point, are you and your team gonna work with the solicitor, or do you have a timeline that you're saying, okay, well, this is the timeline, and if X, Y, and Z isn't done, I mean, what's the game plan so we can, if we have any questions?
So I discussed with Dr. Revin that I want to work with all the contractors and set up a walkthrough of the building before the end of the school. And then give them an opportunity over the summer before our 1-year period to get everything repaired. But I think it's prudent that we conduct a walkthrough with our architect Crabtree and the contractors and identify all of these shortcomings. That way it's very clear what needs to get repaired and who owns it. Because right now we fall into this pit of things being connected.
Mhm,
So there's items that Lobar installed that they're blaming on
mhm,
humidity and temperature,
mhm.
and the HVAC company's blaming it on the boilers running out of gas. And they did for less than 24 hours. But that's because the gauges on the tank were still reading that we had 80% in one of the tanks.
Mhm.
So it's all connected, and I don't believe that everything was due to humidity and temperature. But that's just one example of many throughout the building. There's probably 150 ceiling tiles now that have water stains on them. But that's because the temperature and humidity in the building weren't correct for periods of time. So we've kind of got to a point where maintaining temperature is a little easier, especially now that it's not 5 degrees. But yeah, there's numerous items that connect more than one contractor to the possible cause of failure.
Should you have this walkthrough before the end of the year?
Yeah, that's my plan. I want to do it before school is out so that they have their list and can hit the ground running once the kids are
I
gone.
would say the quicker you have that walkthrough, the better. So
Yes.
they can't say, well, we're busy with summer projects. And then the warranty runs out.
I'm trying to get those punch lists from the contractors now so that we can validate, what's on their punch list with them. But like I said, I've only received one so far.
Okay, so Chair Chris, last question. I'm assuming that everyone has been paid, okay, and as far as they're concerned, their job is complete. So be that as it may, do you think the walkthrough can happen before April? I mean, what's your goal line to have the walkthrough with these groups that will show up?
Oh, I can certainly request it before April.
I
I'd say
think,
before the end of March.
We still owe $365,000 to contractors. There's only been one contractor that was fully paid out,
okay,
and
well,
that was Silvertip.
okay, well, that was my follow-up question now is I was under the assumption we were done paying everybody, but we're not.
I was too.
So, yeah, so that's another conversation for another day. So now that we know this, has your team, Dr. Redmond, solicitor, have they given us a guarantee that if these contractors haven't been paid in full, but technically their quote work was done, that we are opening ourselves up to another potential settlement lawsuit?
So we have not involved the solicitor at all yet.
Okay, maybe talk to your team and make sure that little T is crossed maybe, okay?
Yeah, I mean, we still have 1 year on the hook with all the contractors.
I know,
Okay,
but,
so we still have a year warranty yet.
Right, it's not up till middle of August.
okay, well, okay,
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
why we haven't went to the solicitor yet.
I'd
Okay,
still say if
just-
you can, see if you can get something before the end of March and get them pushed to walk through it.
To walk through in
That
April.
way they don't fill their summer up. They gotta take care of what they already did,
Yeah.
if you can.
Yeah,
All right, super.
All right. Anything else on that, Sam?
I just had one last question.
Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Because the building is put in the low spot and they had drainage issues and et cetera, has anyone tested the floor, the concrete, where the epoxy is coming up to make sure water isn't wicking up through the flooring and causing it to peel?
yeah, we haven't gotten anything. We haven't gotten anything that indicates there's water coming up through the floor.
Okay,
It's,
okay,
the epoxy flooring failures are coming from installation issues
dust or
more so
whatever.
than anything else.
Okay,
And they are already on the hook. They've already committed to come back in June and refinish all of the epoxy floors.
I wish we would have done stained concrete,
Well,
but that is what it is.
so the thing is, look, we put epoxy in all these other schools with a different company and we haven't had one problem.
Right.
Everybody loves it.
You have to have a certain prep work done in a certain
Yeah,
time
yeah,
frame, and
yeah, I know.
it was rushed.
Okay, super terrific. Sorry you're going through all this.
Anything else?
Thank you, Chair.
All right, go on to number 2, current project review. Go ahead, Sam.
So the one update for this is that we have, all the contractors in place now for our family and consumer science room at the high school. And, our construction costs, overall cost is gonna be just a little bit lower than what I put there for the 349. And, it's because there was a refrigerator that the contractor was gonna purchase, and we omitted so that we could go out and get our own version of a we want a commercial refrigerator for the room,
Mm-hmm.
and it's actually gonna be less than the refrigerator that was quoted in the project, so we will take care of that on the side once the room is done.
Great.
That way we can see how it'll fit and how it'll look. But, everything else is in place. The nice thing is everyone, that want to bid, they're all local contractors and they're,
Mm-hmm.
all co-stars too, so.
How
Beautiful.
much was that original cost of that?
200,
Well, we're at 200, 349.
yeah. And, like I said, it'll be a little less than that now because of the refrigerator for the room.
How many square footage did we gain with, between those 2 rooms? Do you know?
We didn't gain any, it's just one classroom.
Okay.
Oh, you mean from the old one to the
From
new
the
one?
old one to the new one.
Oh, I would say at least double, triple.
Closer to triple.
Okay.
Yeah, the old classroom was like it was like a school store or something.
It was.
I saw it. Frank
half of the
showed it
typical
to me.
classroom already and set up.
Yeah, he showed it to me. I was just wondering if anybody knew the footage on it. All right, number 3, 10-year facility plan review.
So nothing has been updated on here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't really have any money to plan with this year. And, when you open this up,
Yeah, that's why I copied and pasted and put it to Word so I could have it in a larger format. It is a bit overwhelming. It's a lot of information. But I already looked at some, do you want to, Chair Chris, it's up to you. I mean, there's a lot of information here. The only way I feel comfortable is to go through it piece by piece. Now, if you want to divide it up, maybe do half today or a quarter today.
Well, we got a lot of stuff to go through today,
Uh-huh.
but since, like Sam said, they really didn't change from last meeting, we were asking to revise it. So
Well,
we
that's
really need to sit down and look at it and revise it. And that's gonna have to come to probably a meeting where we don't have 30 other items on the agenda to go over. We only have an hour.
Right, but if we could at least get through the first 3, and then maybe next month we can get through the next 3, because he has to give us a rationale of why it's on here, and I know a lot of these things have been on this list for a long time, and maybe they don't need to be anymore. I'd like to talk about at least the first top 3. It shouldn't take that long, just
Well,
to get us going.
go ahead just to the top 3, and then Sam, I'm gonna ask that we sit down, even if we have to do a special meeting,
okay,
just someday to sit down where we can hammer this out
Okay,
instead of a meeting where we're on a deadline.
okay.
Cause we gotta get through everything today.
Okay, well, starting at the top of the list is Bucktail. Okay, sand and refinish the gym floor. We all know that those have to be done periodically,
Yes.
to keep them up, okay? So my question was that I noticed, when you go from 2027, okay, that's a brand new floor from last year, correct?
2 years.
Bucktail was done.
2 years ago? It's been 2? Okay, yeah. So the Bucktail gym floor was done 2 years ago. And then, so in 2027, which is 6,000, then why does it jump up in 2029 to 25,000?
Okay, so what I did with this one is the manufacturer actually recommends to do the screen and coat every year.
Mm-hmm,
But because of our financial situation, I bumped it out to 2 years.
that's what I was wondering about that.
And then, every, I don't know what it was, 6 to 8 years or whatever, you should do a full sand.
Right.
And so that is the difference between the $6,000
Mm-hmm.
in 2027 and the 25,000 in 2029.
Okay,
Then it goes back to 6 and 6 for the next 2 cycles,
okay,
and then it'll bump back up to the 25.
okay. So, all right, that makes sense. Thank you. Next one, paving, $750,000. Now, yes, there are issues with all of our macadam.
Yes.
So my question is, since we started discussing that program, like we have the 2 tar buckets, an old one and a new one. Has there been any tarring done in the meantime, or has it just been let to go once it's paved and then it's just let to go until it starts cracking up again?
We don't have tar buckets anymore.
They got rid of them.
Yeah, because they hadn't worked in
Okay, that's,
over 10 plus years.
okay, so they were sold. They're gone. They were there this summer, but they're gone. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, so
What do
back
you mean
to,
they were there this
No,
summer?
no. So I said in our last meeting, the two, we had one tar buggy and we had a pallet full of tar.
Okay,
there was 2, an old one and a new one. But be that as it may, can we save it for a conversation for another time, please?
Yeah, I don't know what new.
I don't know what you're getting at, so let's
I
hash
did
it
call
out.
Rob Pasella too and asked him,
Okay,
and he said he never bought anything new for tar buggy.
okay, that's fine. We'll, please. So anyways, the paving. So we started last month talking about potentially making some sort of memorandum of understanding or something with the host municipality or something. So my question is, once the macadam is put down, did you have any maintenance plan installed? So when things start cracking, that the cracks are taken care of, or?
I reached out to Bode Eagle Township, Mohawk Borough,
I
sent
saw-
them an email
Okay,
and just requesting, if they're willing to work together or for us to pay them at a discounted price, maybe to help
mm-hmm.
with the crack filling and pothole fixing. So I haven't got any response yet.
Okay, fair enough, but for Renova though, so we haven't had that conversation with Renova area, right?
Chapman Town, I would have to reach out to them.
Chapman?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we look at the $500,000 for 2027, is it because, do you believe it's so far gone that it can't be patched and tarred? Is that why it's $500,000?
So what was in here that I inherited was a full overlay of pavement at Bucktail.
Okay,
And that was supposed to happen this year.
mm-hmm.
And I pushed it off and broke it up into 2 different overlays.
Okay, so you're saying that it's too far gone that we can't patch and tar?
Yes, I mean, we can fill some potholes this summer
Okay,
to keep things moving,
okay,
but that pavement up there
That
is,
pavement up there is shot.
yeah,
It's bad.
I just want to, okay, all right, that makes
Now-
sense.
With that said, cause you started it, have you sold any of the tar buggies or the tar since you got here?
No, so what we did is, I mentioned it last month in our meeting. I said we had one tar buggy that did not work, and we
Right,
had a pallet of tar.
okay,
And the company that we hired to do our crack sealing and
Right.
filling, they gave me a quote for $3,500. And I showed him what we had, and I said, if I give you this, will you take money off of our?
right,
They cut $1,000 off of our quote because
okay,
I gave him that stuff.
Okay,
But
okay,
he confirmed that the tar buggy we had, he had to replace 2 burners and he still doesn't have it running. But he is using the tar, so
okay.
okay, well, Elizabeth's saying there was a brand new one.
I never saw it. If we had a brand new one,
Could you get with Joni on that or whoever?
I did.
Find out if we did buy one in the last 5 years?
We didn't.
We didn't.
I
Okay,
got with Joni and Christie and I called Rob Pasella and he said they never bought anything for
Okay,
tar.
appreciate it. Next one, sidewalks and curbs.
okay, sidewalks and curbs, yeah. Is that because we have an ADA problem? Or is that the sidewalk they're talking about that they always wanted to put going into the athletic field, or what's that?
No, that is for, we had $200,000 was earmarked in the history
Mm-hmm,
before me for throughout the district. So I kind of took that and broke it up to the different schools. So right now for Bucktail High School side, there's a big section of curbing and sidewalks by the softball field
Okay,
that needs to be replaced.
okay,
So that's what we'll have in there.
okay, so it's, okay, thank you very much.
The only thing I want to change on that, Sam, is I want you to look at that thing at Liberty Curtain, because that's only have the one egress for
Yes,
handicap. That needs fixed, because that's a safety issue.
yes.
Okay,
All right,
next one, I don't ever remember seeing this.
Elizabeth, that was three.
No, the first three colors, Bucktail, Renault.
We don't have time to go through all of them. I'm sorry.
Oh, can we just at least get through Bucktail, please?
Go ahead.
Okay. The sports complex, I have no idea. I don't ever remember seeing that. So please,
That's for the football field.
okay,
It was to replace the bleacher set and then make it ADA compliant, because right now you can't get from the paved parking lot to the bleachers without having to go through the grass.
right. So the ADA part, would you mind, for next time, if you're okay with this, Chris? The sports complex, right now, to me, the ADA, it's been on the list for multiple years. If the ADA could be broken out and actually say that, because then when we go down to 2029, all of a sudden it jumps back up to $1 million. So, the bleacher issue, if that's still, a desperate need, then break it down to bleachers, break it out to whatever that is. So instead of just saying sports complex, so like anyone reading that would know, okay, if you could do that for us next time, please. All the sports complex expenditures broken out by category. Appreciate it. Then the next one, the roof. I see that's not till 2033. So that's the anticipation of the end of the flat roof? Is that what that means? Is that for the whole school or just the elementary school?
That's for just Bucktail High School.
Okay, could we please add that, please? The roof is for Bucktail High School, end of
It's-
life?
It's under the Bucktail section.
Oh, okay, right. It's not elementary. You're correct. I'm so sorry. My fault. The HVAC, we just did a whole bunch of work bringing that place back up a few years back. So please explain the HVAC. I thought we replaced all that for 750,000.
Right. There hasn't been any maintenance done to it since it was installed.
So it doesn't
So-
have a maintenance plan.
No, so what I put on here for 250 was a placeholder if we needed to change out one of the rooftop units.
Okay,
Yeah, so one rooftop unit is, a smaller size one like we have at Bucktail
okay,
is about 250,000 a piece. So that's why I put one for that year just in case we need it.
oh, okay, it's a
And
placeholder.
the
Okay.
thing about this list is nothing here is set in stone.
Okay, that,
And-
when we get all through all this, that's why, this is how we used to do it. I'm not saying. we have to
Listen,
do it
hey,
that way.
we gotta stay on topic here. We're almost a half hour into this. We haven't gotten anything done yet.
Okay,
We're getting very little done. That's why I say we need to have a special meeting and sit down where we're not time constrained and go through this with Sam and some of his folks.
okay,
Cause we got a long list to get through today, and I don't wanna be putting it off till the next meeting.
no, okay, I
Not
hear what
trying
you're
to
saying.
rush you, but
All right, well,
we
let's
need to
plan.
stay on topic.
Can we do this? Our work
ahead,
session
Sam.
is March 5th. Can you come to that meeting and let us know when is a good time to set up that special meeting?
We'll work on it. Sam and I'll work on it and I'll get with you.
Okay,
Before can we finish Bucktail? So that
Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
So the next one, the heated sidewalks,
yeah,
they spent, I don't know how much money on putting heating sidewalks in a Bucktail, and they never connected them. They never
I-
hooked it up.
So they have it all there, just never hooked it
Yeah,
up.
the pipes are all on the ground, everything.
do we need it?
Whose genius idea
Well, it
was
would make
that?
it a lot easier, so that's why I put it on here. We
Okay.
don't need it, but
Who
someone
did-
spent a lot of money to get it where it is.
Who did that?
That was before my time.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't ever remember. I've been here almost 7 years. I never remember. So if you could find out the age of that system first, maybe?
Okay.
You're
Yeah, so
gonna
it's
hook
like
it
within the
up
last
now,
5
or you're
years.
gonna have leaks all over the place.
Well, that's why I said part of that would be air testing first, just to make
Yeah.
sure. But it was installed within the last 5 or 6 years.
I don't remember it. Sorry. Okay, thank you. All right.
All right, Sam, you and I'll work on this 10-year plan.
Well, set a date.
Set up,
Set a
Yeah,
date.
that's what I mean.
Yep.
We'll set up a date.
Yep, okay.
Number 4, utility cost per school.
so we just updated that yesterday. And one of the things I want to point out here is that with the utility costs as high as they have been,
Mm-hmm.
we've already spent our budget for utilities for the year.
For every school?
So this comes out of the property services budget. I get just under $1.4 million for this school year
For what utilities?
for electric, sewer, water, natural gas, and propane.
Sewer and water. Mhm.
So this breakdown here shows every utility we have at every location, the cost per school, and then the total. And you'll see that the total is $767,000 we're up to already. And we still have 5 months to pay for utilities for this year. So if my budget's, we'll say 1.4 and we've spent 800 on utilities, that leaves me with $600,000 to operate the schools for the school year. But since we're already spent on our utility costs, it's inevitable that the property services group is going to go over their budget. And it's solely driven by the utility cost.
What's gone, I mean, I know my electric bill last winter was approximately $130 a month. Okay, I use natural gas mostly. This year it's $340.
Yes.
And I haven't hardly changed a thing in my life. So, be that as it may, we knew that the price was gonna go up. Everyone did. So, here's my question. In the finance committee meeting, you're gonna see that there's a proposed new way to report budgets that Chris was working on diligently with Joni. We're gonna go over that at the facilities, finance committee meeting at 3:00. Now, here's my question. When he broke it down by school, we've been talking about it, it's done, proposal's done. Chair Chris, can we bring this topic to your spreadsheet so the board can discuss it? Because I'll be honest with you, I never knew that utilities would fall under the facilities budget, which seems bizarre to me, but maybe that's normal. I don't know. But if we're breaking things down by school,
This is all gonna get worked into the process. We made a huge jump for today, and Sam, you'll see it. But one thing I wanna ask you, there's been multiple times I come in this room, nobody's even in here and all these lights are on. There's more lights in here than there is in my whole house. Is there a way to put a motion sensor on this? Cause there was a day I came down, nobody was in here, right? All the lights were on, so I turned it off. Went down, I sat with Joni for 45 minutes, came back up, all the lights were on again and nobody's in here. Is there a way to put a motion sensor on if there's no movement within a certain amount of time, they shut off?
Yeah, so we can put a motion sensor in every room and every building.
Because
Liberty Curtain has them.
the times that I've been by over here at nighttime, it seems like the whole school's lit up. And maybe that would really help. I mean, people at home, I'm sure, don't leave their lights on 24/7, but here they're not paying the bill, so they're lax.
Yeah. So that was something that Dr. Redmond and I talked about in the last week or so, was getting first of all, we have to figure out an inventory of what classrooms and what schools.
I'd say the biggest rooms for now, like this one,
Yeah.
could you figure out what it would cost to put motion sensors in to shut them off, that if they don't detect for a certain amount of time, they shut off?
Yes. And I'm actively working on that
I
already.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cause that just burns me up. Cause I noticed that a lot.
okay,
All right, and
thank you. So,
the next one, you'll see, Sam, when we have finance meeting later, you'll see where we're going that's gonna break that up for you.
Okay.
okay, so Chair Chris, may I
Yeah,
continue, please?
Elizabeth.
Okay, so if you well, I want to hear how you would feel about that once you see the next proposal, the finance committee, because you've already done a terrific job, you and your team, giving us the currents, but we don't see formers. You know, something to compare it to. So,
Nobody ever tracked it before.
I realize that.
Yes,
So-
that's why we're doing what we're doing now, because there's no
Right.
way to tell it before.
Well, there actually is, but I don't know under their new system if it would be too time consuming to get last year's numbers and then compare them to this year's. But if it's too time consuming because of the changeover, don't worry about it. We can just start and then having annual columns. But I just want to let you know, that's a good way to
That's why
evaluate
we're
this.
doing what we're doing. You'll see later.
Right. Now, how do you feel about if the board wants to see your figures incorporated into the budget for the building versus separate, or do you want to keep them separate and they'll just take your numbers, add them to the building numbers?
His budget is gonna be broken out.
Please-
It's gonna be
please, Chair
broken
Chris.
out by department, Elizabeth.
I realize it, but so what do you want?
So you're gonna put the utility bill onto the school's bill.
Mhm.
Our whole proposal is to see how much every school building costs. So we can start evaluating that instead of just spreadsheets and spreadsheets of,
Each school is gonna end up with its own budget. Okay, we're gonna know what it is. Each department for that school is gonna have its own budget. So that way we can start somewhere and have a foundation to see where we need to adjust as time goes forward. The way it's been in the past, like you said, there's no way of really tracking anything. We're putting in a foundation and it's gonna be tweaking along the way. But property services will be part of that facility's budget. And so on and so forth. You're still gonna have yours. But it's going to be broken down so we can see where money's being spent.
Yeah, I would say 90% of everything we do is attached to a school building.
Right.
And our accounting numbers, you know, if you go to Lowe's and buy a bolt, that bolt gets assigned to whatever school it's used at.
we've noticed that.
Mhm.
So we track it that way.
Right.
Like Brandy and I could sit down with Tyler Tech and we could tell you, you know, if we didn't have anything else to do, within a couple hours, we could tell you how much money we've spent on every single building so far this year.
That's what that's our I think that's gonna be the board majority's goal after we start discussing what they did for. the
Once we
bill.
get through the first footsteps.
Right, so keep doing what you're doing, please. This is really important. So yeah, but it would be nice to be able to compare at least 2 years in a row, but if it's too much trouble, understood.
That'll be coming down the road.
Yep. Do you feel that any of these schools, since you've been here, do you feel like any of these schools are consuming more than you anticipate?
Liberty Curtain for sure.
Okay.
Liberty Curtain has been more expensive than the middle school,
And do we know why?
but I'm not sure yet. We're tracking it down. It's the only West Penn Power bill that we have. So that's one difference. So the consulting group that we signed on in January, I have asked them to look into it. But we've only gotten one bill from them so far since our contract started. But they are certainly digging into it. We actually renegotiated a price and signed a new contract within the last 2 weeks because of, you know, reaching out to them
Okay.
and trying to figure out what's going on. But yeah, it's
Are they actually using more kilowatts per hour than the other schools,
that's-
or is it just a price per kilowatt hour?
Yeah, that's a great question, Chris, because that's something else I've noticed in this column is because we have a differential of PP&L versus the other company, the price per kilowatt, if it was added to this chart somewhere, or maybe at the very end, just price per kilowatt for electricity, price per, that would be helpful too. That'd be really helpful. Yeah, spending $70,000 for electricity, it was supposed to save us money in electricity, not cost us more.
So the other thing is, it's the only school that we have propane. So we have four 1,000 gallon propane tanks there.
Got Liberty Curve.
And we had no idea how much that was gonna cost to fill. You know, and we've spent 41,000 on propane so far this year.
So they're not using the electricity for heat
No,
at all? Wow.
I mean, there's a portion of it that goes into heat because you're running
Where
heat
the-
pumps,
You
but
gotta run
right.
heat pumps.
But we're
and
using
everything else.
propane for the boilers to heat the water, you know, and everything, so it's a combination of both.
Okay.
Yeah, and there was a big cost to do the initial fill.
Yeah, so the reason, you know, another thing that we found digging into this is because the school is new, they had no historical data to give us a price per, you know, kilowatt hour on, other than to look at the old school.
Yeah.
So that is what our consultant kind of went back and renegotiated and said, look, this is kind of where we were with the old school.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we are with the new school. The new school is quite a bit bigger. So obviously we're gonna use more, but yeah, we'll see how it comes out here in the next month or two with the new negotiated price.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Next one to go, Mill Hall Borough Sewer Authority.
Yeah, I don't have an update, or I don't know what you wanted me to talk about with this one.
Well, if we paid if we paid Bald Eagle Township, I still understand why we're not paying Mill Hall Borough for that work. I was here, I saw the photographs. I don't understand why we never paid these bills. I mean,
So-
granted, you know, they came in and they cleaned them out, but the grease was there. I mean, I saw it, and they're at the top of the gravity-fed sewer line, so I still don't understand why the school district isn't paying these bills.
So that was like Dr. Redmond said last meeting. We sent all that to the solicitor, and the solicitor was the one that recommended not paying.
What do you think, Chair Chris?
Well, I think it needs to be brought to the board again. We're gonna get into a problem here. Number one, is Mill Hall Borough's an annual bill? Or is that gonna be every time they look and have a problem, are they gonna say, oh, it's the school's fault?
Yeah, that was a bill for a one-time issue that happened out in town. So, I don't know, I can make that recommendation to Dr. Redmond and the solicitor and see what they have to say, but I'm not gonna say either way.
Because if the bill for the Robinson septic system, I mean, the school called them to clean it out, right?
Yeah, I did.
So, but that one was paid.
Yeah, that was just me
We
showing.
paid Robinson
Yeah,
directly.
we paid
Right,
Robinson,
right.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I did call, you asked me to call and see if I could get
Yeah,
some kind of written statement from them. And the lady said there was no way for her to, they don't have a tracking system to put a driver to the truck that day so long ago. So because it was
Right.
back in June last.
Okay.
summer.
So we have the original bill from March a year ago of 1639.17 for Mill Hall Sewer
Yes, that is a bill,
that has never been paid yet.
right, that they gave us for work that was done during a blockage back in, I think, September, October of 2024.
Okay,
That was a bill that they gave us for the work that they had to do to unclog the sewer system.
all right. But we don't know that it was us that caused it. Or do we?
It wasn't on school property where the clog happened. It was out a couple of streets down from the tennis courts.
it was at the corner of Kyler and Peel. It's the first, our sewer line, this is what I was told, back when this was all going on, our sewer line, not our sewer line, middle school, elementary school sewer line is at the top of the gravity discharge line. So everything, when they pick up that manhole cap there on the corner of Peel and Kyle, Nothing else is going into that sewer line above them. Everything to that point is coming from the school. They came and told us that in a public meeting.
Right, I
Now-
remember that.
Yeah, so how could the school not be responsible for paper towels and the grease if there's no one else discharging into that line at that point? That's the top, and then it goes this way. So that's why I'm still confused on why we're not paying the bill. I understand the solicitor was contacted, thank you, but how is the grease and the paper towels not from the school?
How do we know somebody didn't open up a manhole and dump a bunch of junk down in it?
I would say that this is a question that needs to be raised between the school board
And the lawyer?
and the lawyer.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I'll explain that comment later.
okay. Thank you.
But I don't wanna spend $5,000 on a lawyer figuring out a $1,600 bill
Well,
either.
that's, and we want to be good. Well, I would like for the
All right.
board and the school district to be good partners with our host municipalities.
Number two, this public school facility improvement grant program.
All right, so this is the one we talked about last month.
Okay,
At our meeting. The grant was from, you could put in for anywhere between 500,000 up to 5 million. To replace all the remaining units here on the school. I got a bid from McClure and BSC Mechanical. They were between 2.25 million and 2.5 million. So we asked for the 2.5 million just to make sure we covered all avenues. Part of the grant requires a 25% match from the school district. 25% of that is $625,000. In order for me to submit the grant application by March 13th, I need school board to approve a match of $625,000. There has to be a commitment letter, and was discussed with Joni and Dr. Revin, that the school has to, put in a commitment letter with the application as part of the process. So
I don't see how we can do that until we know what the budget's gonna be. That's the problem.
right.
So I would ask you to, when does this have to be done by?
I have to have the application turned in March 13th, day after next voting board meeting.
By March 13th?
Yeah. Yeah, I was, I got the grant at the beginning of January and I've been trying to put it together. I've never done a grant before, so this is my first time.
Okay.
And as I read through it, I'm finding all these things.
How much was the grant? Did you already get the grant?
No.
Okay,
We haven't even, so the application to get the grant is
okay.
due March 13th.
Goes in on March 13th.
Right. But I just wanted everybody to be aware in this meeting that for me to submit that application, the school district has to commit 625,000 if we win.
Why don't we, since we have, finance meeting here in just a little while at 3:00,
Add it to
why
the
don't we
agenda.
wait till then and talk to Joni and just
Okay,
see where we're gonna be budget wise, if that's all right with you?
that's fine with me.
And then board on the 5th, when we have the board work session, both of you can talk about it then.
Okay,
And then we'll go, but at least Joni can give us some insight where she thinks we could land with that.
yeah, I mean, I think it's a great opportunity, but if we don't have the money to do it, there's no sense in trying to push.
Right, exactly.
Um,
Okay.
May I add something, please?
Go ahead.
These are the same HVAC units that we've been talking about for years, to the point where they don't have, they're impossible to keep running. These are the same ones, correct?
We just keep nickel and diming them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know that they have to be replaced. And I think the big thing with this one though, is when we discuss it in the finance committee meeting, if our local representatives aren't champing it, sending a letter in with the grant application,
Mhm.
and they need to be well aware of it. So we're gonna have a little better chance of getting it. But thank you for finding the grant. Thank you for taking on, the application and everything. We know that this is a priority issue. Thank you.
All right, let's go on number 3, status of the KCSD asphalt macadam. This is the same thing we're talking about in the 10-year?
Mhm. Yeah, I left it on here because it was one thing you requested that we
Right.
discuss it more.
All
Mhm.
right, then let's move on to number 4.
Well,
Well,
that
we'll
was,
come back to it.
okay.
Go ahead, ask what you want to ask.
Okay, thank you. So the whole goal is to see if we can make partnerships with our local or host municipalities. So, because I'm sort of under the assumption that the facilities team, it's not something they've really done in the past, and it's something that we haven't been doing. Annual maintenance for the macadam once it goes down. Because it cracks almost a year later, it starts cracking. So you've sent out emails to 2 of the municipalities, right? Bald Eagle
Yeah,
and,
so the reason I didn't at the city was because Rob's parking lot is fairly new. And, I still have Woodward Township to do in Chapman.
okay, so should just keep this on the agenda for next month and hopefully you have some answers for us?
We can.
Okay, all right, fair enough, thank you.
Number 4, parallel parking designation location for training.
So I don't really have an update on this. It's the same as it was last month. I don't know if the security team has thought about making signs. I reached out to them about signs for it, but I don't know if they had ordered any or not.
I've not heard anything on it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about putting cones out right now is we have cones at Mill Hall, and every time it snows, they get buried in a snow pile somewhere. But yeah, everybody was on board with using the different schools for parallel parking practice.
Okay.
So do you have an idea on how much the signs might cost?
We have 3 schools down here and 1 for Bucktail.
Mm-hmm.
You might
But
spend.
all the different spots I looked at that are designated,
Mm-hmm.
if you put a sign up on them, are you saying that nobody can park there?
Well, this is only during non-school hours. So do you want to come back to us next month with what
Only
the
during non-school hours?
Yeah, they can use it during non-school hours. Mhm. When school's not in session.
So you could have people driving around the parking lot at 1 o'clock in the morning?
So anyways, do we want to recommend this to the full board or not? Do you want to get a
It's
cost?
already there, correct?
Yeah, I mean, people use them already.
Yeah, then,
I didn't know this was a big deal because, I mean, there's people practicing there all the time.
yeah, if we're already using it, what's the discussion?
John had a citizen who would like to see actual designated spots, so they know, the parents and everything know where to go. So we'd say, look, if you want to practice parking, this is where we would like you to do it, and this is the times we don't want you to do it, or these are the times you can do it. That's what the parent was asking. So John brought it to us, and if it is gonna be allowed, it just seems to make sense that we're gonna have some sort of consistency and share the communication with the public. Or if they don't want it because of liability, then we have to share that with the community.
Yeah, we never heard back from insurance about the liability of it.
Okay, so we'll keep this on the agenda then, until we have the cost of the signs, what might be on the signs, and the insurance company cause,
So once we do this,
Well,
is
what-
it like gonna be put in the newspaper? How are we gonna make it
Is
public?
this a school-sponsored activity?
No,
Well, that's the thing, either A, this is the way I look at it. Either A, we allow it to occur and we have some sort of consistency and message to the public. Or B, we say no. You can't come onto the parking lot and use it for your own usage to help train your child. But just having it open and just not paying any attention to it, I don't think is really a good idea. Because now we know it's been brought to our attention.
So who
And-
is gonna police this?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Either A, it's open and we're just gonna have blinders on. And just like you do, folks, do whatever you want, whenever you want. Or B, the board in cooperation with administration and safety and security has some sort of communication and understanding with the public.
but I'm gonna say this needs to go to safety and security and ask,
Sure, there you go.
because I can see so many problems over this, it's unreal. If they've been letting it happen, let it happen. If people know that it's available, they can use it, so be it. But I don't want it to turn into a battle
No, I don't either.
at a school, and I can see that happening. So I would say, let safety and security decide if there needs to be signs or
Sure, that sounds like,
whatever.
you all right with that, Sam?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Fetzer even came up with whatever the sign would say.
Great.
Why don't you talk to John about it, or to Scott, I mean,
Okay.
and see what he thinks.
Well, so your next safety and security meeting is when?
Whenever Manny calls it.
Well, I thought he had one set up. Okay, well, there is a meeting set up somewhere. And then we can hear what their recommendation is. That's great.
All right, next one is goal setting. I think a goal we could set is for us and whoever else is gonna get added onto this committee to maybe take a day, Sam, and sit down and let's seriously go through the 10-year program,
Mm-hmm.
and let's do everything we can do to clean it up. That would be a big goal, and I'd like to see us do that. At least by the end of April.
I can throw out some dates and
Yeah. Then you could set more than 1 hour, cause it's gonna take more than 1 hour to go through
Yeah,
that
we'll-
list. That's for absolute certainty.
yeah, so the thing with that is I'll throw out some dates. We need to determine who the audience is. Because everybody has different ideas on what the
Mhm.
goals are for this district. You know, some people's priority is different. In years past, the 10-year plan was a wish list of what people wanted. I gave everybody the benefit of the doubt. I walked through with every principal this year to try and figure out what people's top priorities are. And I can tell you, it's all over the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you what, the structure of the building, between the roofs, the building itself, the mechanical equipment, the boilers, the hot water heaters, the
Right.
HVAC. I can have input on that, the parking lots. But it really, that 10-year plan is such a fluid thing. Feel like right now, if we don't have any money going into the summer, we're not doing anything next year.
Right.
It's just not gonna happen. You just push it all to the right. And I think that's happened for years and years and
Oh,
years
Yeah,
of
it's,
this wish list that we had out there.
Yep.
Was just, you end up doing 10 things that were never even on the list
Mhm.
with the money and pushing things to the right that were somebody's, the principal from 8 years ago had a wish and nobody even knows what it is anymore.
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think 10 years is really long to put in a plan for.
right.
You know what I mean? I think 5 years is much more reasonable, but
It is, but you take apart everybody's wish list, but you know what a facility is really gonna need.
Absolutely.
And that's what that 10-year plan should be. Not just somebody's wish list, but this should be, this is what it takes to keep the building open
Yeah, and you can see,
and safe.
once we get into the meeting, and there's probably like 20 tabs on that 10-year plan list.
Right.
And Joni and I have been meeting, every month or two, we've been meeting and updating. And you can see where we've cut numerous things out of it.
Right.
And then this list that I produced on here was the most recent, where I did a collaborative with technology and curriculum. And we said, here's these 3 pots of money that are the biggest pots, the biggest users in the district
Right.
outside of benefits and pay. And, the 3 of us had to work together on, maybe technology needs to spend a little more money this year, curriculum does, property services. So the 3 of us are going to compete for whatever funding is out there for us to get. And I mean, it's all relative on if you want the curriculum side to be number 1, or you want the technology, you want everybody to have cool new laptops, or do you want to put an HVAC unit on a building?
Right.
So those, that is what Dr. Redmond had asked us to do. So I built this new list where we trimmed all the fat pretty much and left you with this shorter list.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
anyways,
Well, okay. All right, you actually segued into actually where I was going. Because I've been going to the curriculum committee, IT, we've heard from safety and security. To be honest with you, you're actually going exactly where I wanted to go.
Mhm.
Because we finally got to the finance committee spreadsheets, okay, reports. That's finally getting started today. I have always wanted to see one list given to the board by school, which we started that years ago by school, but it also includes IT and it includes any safety and security, all on one 10-year plan.
Mhm.
So ironically, so I don't want, when it comes up to you folks trying to fight for a pool of money, you go ahead, whatever it is that you do, but the board needs to see one spreadsheet with the priority lists on it all together. To me, that would be ideal. Then eventually it'll be broken down by schools.
All right.
Okay?
Topics for future discussion.
Well, I would like to see next month, I would like to start seeing something that also includes, or maybe it's too soon.
I mean, we already kind of started a little something, but
Especially
It's-
IT and security. I mean, that really, I feel it should be on this list.
One, but we're talking facilities.
Right, but facilities it's all connected though, because like when they do IT and things, IT for safety and security, to me, that's facilities. I'm not saying the discussion should come to facilities. I'm saying whatever is safety and security decides they need the priorities, and those priorities I think should go on this list.
So Elizabeth, can I ask a question?
Please.
Is there ever a time? I'm
Microphone,
sorry.
please. And I'm not saying it's the ideal situation, it's just that would help me when I'm.
Is there ever a time that all the chairs of the committees get together to kind of review?
No,
Because they do overlap, and I hear what you're saying. Sam and I have this conversation frequently in regards to what falls, into my realm as athletics and how facilities work. What's he paying for? What am I paying for? What, we have an ASN number that kind of is jointly shared. And so, there are different things that happen, and I'm fortunate that Sam probably takes more of the abundance of it than I have, but his budget looks different than mine. But obviously, as things are constricted and becoming, that we have less funding, less opportunities, I think those are crucial conversations to be able to have. So that might be just one thought of all the chairs. And I know, like, you get to give the reports at the board meetings, all those things, but having those committee chairs have an opportunity to say, these are the things that are going on. And again, where do they overlap? Is this a conversation that actually hits 2 or 3 committees? Just as a thought process. I can say from my experience in 27 years here and 10 as an administrator, like Sam coming in and having those conversations, it really was a wish list. And I know at the middle school level and different things, and Sam and I have talked where I know things went on a list and then 3 years later, they're still on the list and they got pushed down 2 or 3 years. And so as he referenced, new things come up, new priorities, that have to be addressed
Right.
from an operational standpoint. Not that these other things aren't things, that are important, but the operation of the district comes first. And I think those are things, even if you came to me as an administrator to be able to say like, yeah, I would really love to see this done. But if it's a matter of having an HVAC unit operating and having the facility, that's got to come first.
Right.
So that's just my take on it.
No, Dave, I really appreciate that. And that's kind of,
Mhm.
the fact that, like I said, if it has anything to do with facilities, I think it should go on this report. Not that the other groups shouldn't talk about them, but one report. So we see a bigger picture of what the real needs are. How do you feel about that?
No, I feel good. The hard part is who's in charge of that. Because, IT, I think, reports to different people. You have, I don't even know who the security team reports to right now. And so if you want to put those two, like Dave and I worked together pretty good on sports complexes, but, like to get the leaders of that group to come together to hash this out, is a pothole more important in front of the high school or the teacher gets a new computer? Those are the things that we're going to fight over money for. And we just need to make sure the right players are justifying the needs.
Mhm.
It's gonna be everybody getting together in certain set aside meetings, quarterly meetings or whatever, and everybody discussing their priorities. And then you take those priorities and put them into where they go, safety, security, athletics, facilities, whatever. And then you dig through those priorities is how it has to be.
Oh, yeah, that's what I think that's
We
what they're
can make
doing. It's
that
just that, having it all, if it has to relate to facilities, it should be on one list. That's just the way I feel about it.
Mhm.
Instead of at the 11th hour, this group comes to the board, we need this right
Well,
away,
and
or that
that's-
group comes.
That's what needs to stop.
Yeah,
The 11th hour stuff, I need it now.
yeah,
If you know you're gonna need it and it's upcoming,
put it on the list.
get it to a meeting, unless it's an absolute
Emergency.
emergency, and we know
Yep.
those things happen,
Mhm.
especially in your group. So the 11th hour stuff is what everybody needs to understand, you bring it at the 11th hour and it's something that could have been talked about 3 months ago, it ain't gonna happen.
Hmm.
That's it. Anybody else got anything for this meeting?
No, I think the goals, I
All
agree.
right,
The 10-year
meeting
plan.
adjourned at 2:03.